I'm a huge champion of you need to spend more time doing things that humans do and letting the technology do what technology does. A lot of people use it for copy. That's great, but it's becoming more and more like apparent to people that this was written by AI. Let it help you, but you got to keep your own style, your own personality along with AI. It's important to keep that in mind, is like you're just replicating what you do. So it can't sound like a bot. I think AI amplifies people. AI cannot replace people. So I think that's a misconception. Get back your time, man. Like nobody needs to work 70, 80 hours a week. I don't care how much you say you love what you do. You need to claim some time back to be human. Take this all in. We only have so much time here, right? So use AI, use automation to claim back time to get back to doing what you love to do and why you started your business to begin with.
AI in general can either help you save time, and then naturally that will help you save money. Thanks for tuning in to Privian AI Spotlight. I started this show because AI is changing everything, and most people have no idea how fast. So each week I'm sitting down with real operators, founders, educators, and people inside of the system AI is already touching. No hype, just real conversation about what's actually happening behind the scenes. So if you want to stay ahead on what's coming, tap subscribe. Now let's get into today's conversation. Hello everyone, welcome back to Privian AI Spotlight. Today I'm with Keith Phillips. He's a CMO and MarTech consultant. Super happy to have him, and he specializes in the marketing industry. So Keith, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Gio.
For sure. So for those who do not know, can you please introduce yourself to them and tell us a little bit about what MarTech does?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm the CMO at MarTech Consulting. What we specialize in is, if you think MarTech is a term that describes combining marketing and technology and bringing them together, which is what we do. Everything from lead generation all the way through your operational automations. So kind of our core specialty is solving problems, right? So how can we either grow your business through lead generation, nurture, but also how do we save you time? Like that's my big passion, through like automations and making things just kind of happen on their own using technology.
Yeah, I think this is a huge space right now on marketing and technology. And I like how you're combining both of them, right? Because I work with marketing agency firms that are simply just marketing, and I think websites, blogs. But talk to me a little bit about the automation, the technology side of things.
I've always been a big believer in like anything is possible, like anything you can think of, you can make happen. So in terms of the technology and automation, it's about whether you're using AI or a good solid CRM and using it together, is taking all your technology, making it speak together and working together while you're doing other things. So think about onboarding, right? Like how can onboarding a new client be automated? So you're not sending off individual emails and text messages and adding things to your CRM and making notes. And it could be anything as simple as that to, making your QuickBooks billing speak to your CRM and sending out automations. Our main purpose is like helping you reclaim your time so you can get back to doing human things. So like doing things that why you started your business to begin with, and doing things that maybe you want to do in your personal life. So I'm a huge champion of you need to spend more time doing things that humans do and letting the technology do what technology does. So whether that's getting back to spending time with your family, being outdoors, or like if you're a chef, get back to making those awesome recipes you want to make and spend less time managing your business, which is not why you started your business to begin with. So that's kind of what we're all about.
Awesome. No, I think that's great. So you're talking about different platforms. You said QuickBooks, you said CRMs. Is there something specific that you guys focus on when it comes to automating different workflows? Is there like a specific platform, or are there several? Do you work with all of them?
We try not to work with all of them, but we also, if someone comes to us and they use a specific software or platform, we're going to learn it so that we can help them. Or if we can move them to a different platform, we will. I'm a big fan of Keep as a CRM platform. It's super powerful. I think it's the best automation CRM out there. There's a lot of other CRMs we work in, like HubSpot or Klaviyo, or we use Airtable to create like custom CRMs. So there's a lot of different platforms we use. Keeps sort of my favorite on the automation end, but we use other things like Make or Zapier to connect all these things if we're not doing custom APIs. So there's a lot of different ways to achieve the same goal. That's one thing that's unique about us. We're very flexible. Our team has a lot of experience in a lot of different platforms, and it's just about looking at the whatever your pain points are in your funnel and fixing them.
hmm No, I think that's great. I think you mentioned again, all these different tools, but now we're introducing AI into this world as well. So can you
Yeah.
talk to me a little bit how AI has kind of impacted the marketing industry or the technology industry with also blending in the automation side of things as well?
Sure. Yeah. So obviously AI is moving so quickly and people's adoption of it is moving quickly that I think we're seeing changes every day, right? So for us, AI is useful in doing those tasks that can be done by AI so that you again, I'm just going to keep repeating it so you can get back to doing the things that only you can do, right? So I like what we're implementing AI for is like on a basic level, like website facing agents so that they can answer people's questions and direct them through your site. The best way I like to explain it to people is like it's like an searchable FAQ meets a search bar, meets chat, all powered by AI. So it's like, your customers can find the information they need quickly without trying to like navigate through, especially for websites that are like filled with content. Like content's great for SEO, right? And like, so people have just been like throwing tons of content on their website or people with courses, right? Like where it can really be, people bounce quickly, right? They get to a website, don't find what they need, they move on.
Mhm.
So like AI can help when you have an agent that has all the database of your whole website on there and people can interact with it and find what they need quickly. You're going to have more conversions on your website, right? That's one way we're using it. It's also great on the back end, whether it's for like onboarding new clients and talking them through their next steps in the process to get onboarded and set up and connected. It's good for loading in even like in manuals, right? Like employee staff manuals, product manuals on your back end for your staff to be able to reference real quick. Like, I need to know how to do this. Like, tell me exactly how to do it, right? So that's like another AI agent with like guardrails, so that you can make sure the only information it's going to give out is like what you need it to know. So that's how we're using it on the back end to help out with those sort of automations and making sure everything runs smoothly. Those are the two like core ways that we're using it. I think what's becoming more and more important is remembering, like a lot of people use it for copy and for whether it's your ad copy, email copy. That's great, but it's becoming more and more like apparent to people like
Mhm.
that like this was written by AI, right? So
Yeah.
AI is great for prompts and like setting you up for like the right things and what you want to use it for to give you ideas, and especially if it knows you, right? Like keep telling AI, everything that you're working on and let it help you. But you got to keep your own like you got to keep your own style, your own personality, along with AI, right? So like make sure, it's representing you and your brand if you're going to use it for that sort of thing.
For
No.
sure. You mentioned about having a customer facing agent and then an agent that can be used for customer service and then even like for a technical, like uploading manuals. So when you talk to a customer and you start talking about AI agents, what are the steps that you take? Do you go ahead and just recommend all three agents, for example, or talk to me about the process of how do you identify the best need for the agent and how do you implement it?
Sure. With anything we do, we kind of is this is like a unique process, right? Than most like marketing agencies, and this is like where our tech and consulting comes in. Is like I want you to take like a week and record how much time you're spending on everything and what will move the needle first. So we'll look at like your processes and say like, does this make sense, right? You're spending a lot of time here. How can we do this, right? So like for a website agent, for example, if you're spending a lot of time interacting with your, let's say, your online chat, right? Or you have a staff member that is like, let's put a website agent on there. So you don't have a customer service rep, like answering the same questions over and over and over again. And that same goes for like text messaging and email, right? It's the same sort of thing. Like if you're doing those tasks over and over again, like let's put an AI agent in there. But if it's in the same thing on your back end or for your if you have a large database of clients that on the back end, they're logged into your system, let's say, right? Like, let's say you have a software and they're asking a lot of questions there or searching, like, and so wherever you can save the most time first is the first place of attack for me when it comes, with implementing an agent, right? Because let's take one thing at a time, save you time, and see what that brings, because that might change the course of where we go next. And that's how we attack, sort of every situation we're presented with.
I think that's a great strategy because I think AI agents or just AI in general can either help you save time and then naturally that will help you save money. And all these
Yeah,
businesses, that's what they're all for, right? And you mentioned about really understanding let's go back to saving time, right? That means you are observing everything that's from happening from A to Z, so you're looking at their workflows, what they've
yeah.
done in the past, and I guess you're just trying to fill in those gaps, right? So when you're looking at these workflows, what are things that you're looking into, like, specifically? Can you give us like an example that you have done in the past?
Two things you said that kind of combined into one thought in my head. Like I just went through this with one client who they have this one workflow that's a huge time suck that they're doing manually, right? And so it's event coordinating. So they plan events like way out in the future, and there's a lot of information that they need to know about the event between now and then, and that the client needs to like feed to the event planner, and they're doing a lot of events, right? So there's a lot of back and forth of like, hey, we need this information from you, and recording it. So we're like diving into that, and it was a huge project. And then, we started talking and we realized they were missing like a shopping cart abandonment. And it's like, well, yeah, this is a huge time suck for you, but this one's going to help you get more sales. So sometimes it's about the time, but it's also about like, how can we move the needle in your business quicker? If we could produce more sales, then we'll tackle the big time suck next, because we can, in a shorter period of time, close that gap. So what we ended up doing is, she had a lot of inquiries. People would tour the facility to plan the event, but there's really no automated follow-up between that point and then the deposit getting left to book the events. So what we did is we decided, hey, let's put an agent in there, right, to answer all their questions about booking the event, what the next steps are, what to expect. So training that agent on all that, but then start setting up an automation sequence with emails and text messages saying like, hey, it was great having you here. And when we do all this, like almost all the time, like we're writing these personally, right? So we'll work with the client to write real, like personal looking, like they sit down and write it one off, and then we're taking it and duplicating it. So, I want to be very clear about that. Like when creating automation and using agents, like we need it to sound authentic. And that's why using a company like ours or anybody's, or even when tackling these things yourself, it's important to keep that in mind, is like you're just replicating what you do. Like, so it can't sound like a bot, and it shouldn't, right? Like people will expect better of you, and you want to keep your brand and your voice along the way. So that was a project we did. Like, so sometimes you dive in and you're all excited about this big build. We're going to save you so much time. And it's like in the middle of that, we pivoted and said like, this one's going to produce you more sales. So let's tackle that first. I hope that answered your
No,
question.
I think that was great.
But
Yeah.
but you had me thinking. Yeah, you had me thinking about like processes, right? Like, so sometimes you think it's about saving time, and it's always about saving time because time gets you back so much more than time and money. Brings you back life. But sometimes you have to look and say like, well, we're missing a key part first. Like we need to get more clients to drive the business, and then we'll tackle the next. So it's important to take things step by step, because they're going to uncover other pain points in your business, right, that need to be unclogged.
hmm I feel like there's a lot of companies today who are interested in automation or AI. However, they're a little bit scared when it comes to like the unknown. So
Yeah.
the automation piece, right? So I think that one's really, really important because what you're doing is, again, you're combining AI agent, which is a tool, and then you're automating it using the other tools and putting it together like in a workflow kind of pattern. So for the listeners and for those who really don't know anything about automation and AI, can you walk us through on a setup? Talk to me about like a lead magnet type of application on a website from A to Z, very simple terms. How would you set that up?
If we're going to use like, let's say a web a website agent, right? Like that's going to the goal of that agent is to get them to convert to the next step that's going to put them into the automation, right? Like so that is one way, right? So like put an agent on your website. It helps answer people's questions. And depending on what you're selling, if it's a simple product, you can build it in a way that helps convert sales right on that page. But let's say you have a bigger ticket item or you're consulting or whatever. The goal of that agent is to move them on to the next step with the least amount of friction as possible. And like that's all everybody wants, right? Like they want things easy and to make sense. And so we'd use that agent to answer the questions with always the goal of, let's say for some people, it's like, hey, schedule a time with me here. That includes a link to the calendar, right? So let's use that as an example. So it's going to answer their questions, but the CTA, the call to action would be, schedule a time to talk with me. Here's a link to my calendar. Once we get them on the calendar, they schedule that time. We're going to send automated reminders. But more than that, like we're going to give more value, right? So we're going to be sending automated emails, text messages. I personally like using automation to trigger real human conversation. So like open-ended questions that a human can pick up when it makes sense, right? Like obviously if we're selling flashlights, like let's just automate that and make sales. But like if it's consulting, I want to like ask some good leading questions and start a human conversation. Sometimes you can use an agent to answer those emails and text messages if it makes sense, but sometimes it's more of using that automation. So like people want things immediately, right? So you want that automated follow-up to happen the second they fill out a form, the second they schedule with you. You might be on vacation, you might be having dinner with your family, but you want your business working while you're doing those things, right? And that's very possible. And then you're just picking up where the automation leaves off. So if someone replies with a question that, an agent can't answer, that's all you're answering, but there's a million little touch points happening along the way. So for me, if like we're trying to convert and we're talking about on the sales side, all that's happening. And then, well, on top of all that, on the marketing side, we're hitting them with like retargeting campaigns, giving them more value, more information, right? So they're going to see in their Instagram feed, they're going to see videos of what we do, what we offer. So in the meantime, they're consuming our content and either finding the answers to the questions that they might have had and or just learning more and more about what we do. So all this like education and selling is going on while I'm either helping other clients, working on building the business, recording this podcast right now, right? There's people on our website right now interacting with us, but I'm here talking to you, right? So I get to do all these things I love while all the easy stuff can be taken off the table. So, and this works even better like post sale, right? Because you can just constantly be sending out all the information you need in like a timely fashion through like timer sequences. You need to be like in people's like world is the way I always put it, right? Like so that they're seeing email from you. They might not open them all, but they're seeing your name and they know that you're thinking about them and that you're staying engaged and being top of mind. So on the sales side, like they might not be ready today to buy what you're selling, but when they are ready, you want them to know who the expert is, like who to go to. And they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that guy Gio, right? Like I know he's had some great information and I'm ready to do this. I'm gonna go call Gio now. Like they know who you are. So that's the goal is to like keep your brand awareness up, do it with automation and let your agent kind of steer them along the path when they're on your website.
I think you guys really speak to your name, right? MarTech or
Yeah.
marketing and technology. So thank you so much for sharing that. One more question. When it comes to misconceptions about AI within the marketing industry, and can you share something when it comes to that?
There's a big panic about AI replacing people. I have a lot of thoughts about that. I don't think it does or should. I think AI amplifies people, right? AI cannot replace people. So I think that's a misconception. Like, here's an example, right? Like 100 years ago, 120 years ago, everybody had ice delivered to their house to put in their ice box. And the ice industry was huge. It was like one, especially like up here in the Northeast where I am, they were selling ice all over the world, big industry. Then came along the refrigerator and the ice business went away. But like, yes, so some people's jobs were no longer needed to like cut and deliver ice, but now we had these refrigerators that needed to be, and some of the same ice companies got into refrigeration, and they need techs and people to build refrigerators and deliver refrigerators, right? Like, so like it just changes what we do. So in our own businesses, right? So speaking to small to medium business owners, like, yeah, you might not have to sit in front of your chat, or your customer service rep might not need to sit there and chat with customers on your website all day. You can replace that with an agent. Now take those people and give them something that humans can do, right? Like answer the hard questions, develop new marketing campaigns, make phone calls and have real one-on-ones with your customers. Like, so like the idea is to save time. So the misconception is like, is AI is replacing people. It's not replacing people. It's freeing people up to do more people things, right? More human things. So if you're a solopreneur, it's going to free you up to grow your business in new ways, or get back your time, man. Like nobody needs to work 70, 80 hours a week. Like that's a near and dear to me. And I'll, and that's a hill I'm willing to die on, and I'll argue with anybody. Like if you're doing that, yeah, you're missing out on so much. I don't care how much you say you love what you do. Like, you need to claim some time back to be human and take this all in. We only have so much time here, right? So like use AI, use automation to claim back time, to get back to doing what you love to do and why you started your business to begin with.
I love that. And thank you so much for sharing this
Yeah.
story about the ice industry, which I didn't know about, but we can truly relate to it even today.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. And for those who want to find you and, take action on your service, how can they find you?
Yeah, so we're MarTech Consulting. Find me on LinkedIn. Yeah, I'd love to chat with anybody anytime about any of these things. Is kind of what I love to do, is meeting different business owners and people operating businesses and hear all their great ideas. So yeah, find us MarTech Consulting. We'll have a people conversation. My AI agent will help get you there. Find my calendar.
Awesome.
So
Well, Keith, thank you so much
right.
for joining. This was truly amazing. And for those hearing at home or watching, thank you so much for tuning in. And next time, we'll go ahead and dive in deeper into another industry and see how AI is impacting that world as well. Thank you all, and see you on the next one. If you're interested in how AI can be used in your business or at work, I'd love to help you understand what that really looks like. I made a free tool called the AI Audit Assistant. It asks you a few simple questions that shows you exactly where your business is leaking time or money, and where automation can help. It's simple, it's fast, and completely free. Just click the link below and enter your name and email, and I'll send your audit agent straight to your inbox. And if you got value from this conversation, subscribing really helps this channel grow. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next episode.